Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm doing a foundation review. If you guys watched my unboxing on Instagram the other day, you will have seen I received like every shade of the new Makeup Revolution foundation sticks. I have been so intrigued by these. Makeup Revolution is a really good brand in my opinion. These only cost $9, and so I love to try out new foundations. It's a kind of different formula than most of the drugstore options that are out there. I don't really know if there's too many stick foundations at the drugstore, and I'm really excited to test this out. So I have just a little bit about it. There are 18 shades, which is really awesome. It seems like there is quite a range, and actually, I think the shade that's gonna work for me is maybe the fourth one or the fifth one. I'm not sure yet. So there are 3 shades lighter than my skin tone, which that's usually not the case with drugstore. Usually, you know, I'm like the second shade from the lightest one or the third maybe. So there are some really, really light shades, and it goes to a really, really deep shade, which I think is great. And it's just nice to see a good foundation range from a drugstore brand. I really like that. You guys know I love the Makeup Revolution concealers, also an amazing range with those products. So basically on their website, it just says that it quickly perfects contours and highlights your complexion. The easy to apply stick formula melts into skin, blending seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. Oh, it's a dewy finish? Okay. Twist up, swipe on, and blend out with fingers, a beauty sponge, or your favorite foundation brush. So let's just get right into it. I'm trying to think if I should prime at all. I think I may actually just leave my skin as is. I have a face oil underneath, and that's usually what I like to use under stick foundations. So I think I'm just gonna leave it with no primer today. So let's see how the F4 shade looks on my jawline. That seems like it's gonna be a really good shade actually for me. Unless it lightens as we blend it out. F5 is this one. That's much more yellow toned. So if the F4 is, that's actually a really big gap between those two shades. So if the F4 blends out too light, I may have to mix in a tiny bit of F5, but F5 is like extremely yellow. I need to like wipe that off actually. Okay, I'm just gonna go with F4 and we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure how much to use, so I'm just gonna twist it up. The packaging is really pretty too. Here's what it looks like. It says Makeup Revolution right here. It has kind of a rose gold detail. The packaging is nude. It has a rose gold top, and then of course you have the product in there. So let's just begin. Let's start with one side of my face. I'm going to start with maybe 2 stripes, and let's see how it looks with a brush first. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a brush. This one's from Sigma. It's their flat kabuki brush. And let's just blend that out on the cheeks. Wow, you can already see how much coverage that provided. I'm gonna do a little bit on the forehead. So right now I really like how it looks with the brush, but just for fun, we're gonna do the same thing on this side, but I'm gonna try to blend it out with a sponge and see what happens. I'm just gonna use my Morphe sponge. So I feel like it still works with the sponge, but as usual, when you use a sponge, you usually pick up a little bit more product. So off of my first impressions, I think I like the original application with a brush, but you guys know me. I almost just put the wrong shade on. But you guys know that I usually like to do a layer with the brush first, and then I will sometimes go over it with the sponge to get that sponge finish. So we're putting a little bit more on both sides just to add some coverage. Really good coverage though. You guys know how I love full coverage foundations, so I'm liking how much this is concealing on my skin. Wow. So I am just gonna really lightly tap the sponge over the entire face. It does kind of cling to dry patches. I have a really dry blemish on my jawline there, and so that's one thing to take note of. If you have dry skin, it seems like it might cling a little bit. So that is it, you guys. That is the foundation. I have to say I'm really impressed with the coverage. The finish is definitely more of a satin dewy finish, which I don't mind at all. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys really quick. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever concealer on top just so we can see how it looks. I'm gonna use the shade C5 over any blemishes that need extra help. So I just dotted them on the blemishes, and I'm just going to blend that out with the same sponge. I felt like that blended really nicely on top of the blemishes. And then I'm gonna use the same concealer under the eyes. Let's see, I'll use the shade C3 for under the eyes. I'm just gonna take that same exact sponge and blend this out underneath the eyes. I know it said you could like contour and highlight with those foundation sticks. I'm gonna have to maybe try that later, just because I'm not super familiar with how to do that, honestly. And I feel like sometimes when I have tried in the past, past with stick foundations to use it as like concealer and contour. I feel like it just ends up looking like too much. I just want to give this foundation like as fair of a shot as possible and like wear it how I would actually wear it, you know what I mean? So that is the foundation with the concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back to do a little check-in. So far so good though. I actually really like the coverage. I like the finish of it. It was really quick and easy to use, so far so good. So I'll be right back after I do my makeup. Alright, so I just finished the rest of my makeup. I feel like everything applied really nicely on top. I just did my makeup how I normally would. I set my face with powder. I did use a setting spray. If you're curious to know which products I use specifically, I will list them down below. But to be honest, I really like how this looks. So we're gonna do a little wear test today. It is currently 2:26 in the afternoon. I usually do stay up late, so I am going to try to wear this as long as possible, but this is what we're starting with. I'm really happy with it actually. Really like the finish. I feel like it gave coverage but still looks natural enough to wear like for every day. I'm excited to see how this wears. I will check in with you guys in just a little bit. Alright, so I'm back looking a little frazzled. Start over. I'm back and I'm looking a little frazzled because it is midnight. Told you guys I stay up pretty late. This is what the foundation looks like, you guys. Honestly, it looks pretty dang good. What time did I check in? I think I checked in around like 2:30 or 3, right? So I've been wearing this for like 9 hours. I haven't touched up at all day. It did get a little bit more dewy in the T-zone, but normally I do kind of like blot my T-zone because it can tend to get oily. So for not even touching it, it's looking pretty good. Like it just looks dewy more than greasy. I feel like the coverage is still there. It didn't come off anywhere. Maybe a tiny bit around my nose, but I did blow my nose a couple times today. I always have allergies, so that happens. But you guys, I'm honestly very impressed with this foundation. I'm so excited that there's a good stick foundation from the drugstore that works for me. At least it seems like it works for me. I don't have anything bad to say about it, honestly. It didn't even hardly settle into my smile line right here, which most foundations do. I like to have options when it comes to foundations. You guys know how much I love the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I wouldn't say the formulas are super similar on these, but just the fact that I have a stick foundation now that I really like, it makes me really happy. I love traveling with stick foundations because the packaging is foolproof. You don't have to worry about like it spilling in your bag or anything like that. So these are great for touch-ups on the go. And so I'm just really excited that it's only $9 and it's this good quality. I'm really excited. Like $9 is cheaper than a lot of like my favorite drugstore foundations. I think most of my favorite drugstore foundations kind of range between like $10 and $15. So this is cheaper than that. Really excited. Oh, I actually never saw how much product is in here. So this is how much product comes in the tube. A little bit did go a long way, so we'll have to see how long this lasts for me. I do use a little bit more than I feel like some people might just because of my blemish prone skin and all the scarring and things. I do tend to like build up coverage. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys can see how nice it looks. I've been wearing this for a really long time. Like I'm ready to wash my makeup off and I feel like honestly it looks pretty darn good. But I will definitely keep you guys posted in future videos. I definitely will be using this again. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have tried this foundation out and what you think of it. I definitely really like everything about it. I guess I should say it's not like the most fantastic thing I've ever seen on my complexion. I do like other foundations more, if that makes sense, but I think this is a great, reliable foundation. I didn't have anything bad to say about it, and I'm just excited to keep using it. So that is it for this video, you guys. I would definitely recommend you guys go check this out. I know they have them at Ulta now. They didn't have it in my Ulta for a while, but I did see a display a couple days ago, so check your local Ulta, or they are available online. As always, I will link them down below so you guys can check them out online as well. But that's it. I love you all so much. If you haven't joined the family, please do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you want to be a part of the notification squad, just go ahead and click the bell after you subscribe so you'll be part of the notification family and you'll be able to be notified every single time I post a video. And also, if you guys haven't entered my 200,000 subscriber giveaway, I will link that down below as well. It's epic. There are 200 winners. It's so much fun. So check that out as well if you have not already. I love you all so much and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.